Welcome, everyone, to the Real Walking Cast, episode 90. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Chris. What's up, Chris?
What's up, guys?
What's up, Scott?
Greetings and salutations.
All right, so it's been a while since we did the Walking Dead podcast, so here we go with the Real Walking Cast. What do we have, Chris?
Well, for the lighter news, apparently Norman Reedus and Greg Nicotero are going to be opening up a restaurant, which is pretty cool.
Real
I guess
restaurant.
it's going to be called Nick and Norman, and it will open at 20 Main Street, as confirmed by a recent Instagram post from Norman Reedus. It's going to open sometime in the summer. That's pretty cool. They got like an insignia and everything.
So it has nothing to do with Walking
Insignia.
Dead, just them creating a restaurant.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's themed or anything like that.
Yeah. It turns out that the someone in New Jersey is trying to get away with calling their restaurant The Walking Dead, and they're being sued at this moment by Kirkman. But it's not related to this. They're just opening up a restaurant, not Walking Dead related. So I'm Greg Nicotero and Norman Reedus. So that's cool. And where is it located?
I think
Georgia?
it's in Atlanta somewhere, yeah.
Okay. Now, what's going on with the new season?
Okay, so this is spoiler. This is why I didn't
Yeah,
read
spoiler
this first.
guys, okay?
So, spoilers potentially for The Walking Dead Season 7. So if you don't want to know, stop watching now.
Right.
Okay. So apparently, this is coming from IGN. It
Okay.
says that The Walking Dead filmed 11 different versions of the Season 7 opening specifically to combat any spoilers that might leak as to who is possibly killed by Negan at the beginning of the season.
Mm-hmm.
So it says that all 11 cast members involved in the scene have each filmed a death scene.
Oh.
And so that way they will be able to, whoever they decide to kill off,
They've got
they'll
backup.
just use the scene that they filmed with them. I think this is ingenious, to tell you the
That
truth.
is smart. That is
Yeah.
smart.
I like that. I know that they filmed something for Civil War, didn't they? Or Avengers 2. I think they filmed alternate scenes.
I remember hearing Civil War, when Civil War came out, this was a huge, like, news-related thing. This was a while back that they filmed a death scene for Iron Man / Captain America. I heard that.
I thought that had to do with Thanos,
Yeah.
where when he gets the time gem, he rewrites time, and then they show that scene incorporated in Infinity War, possibly, where they're like, oh, wow, you know?
Mhm.
That's what I would think they would do that, and then time would be restored. But this is an ingenious thing with Walking Dead.
Yes.
Also, what not a lot of people are aware of, too, they're filming it out of order now,
Mhm.
which I don't think they were doing that before. And there's also probably an episode or two where there's a flashback, so if anybody does die, they're in the flashback, so you really don't know who's dying and who's living and whatever. I mean, if Glenn dies, if they'll probably throw him a flashback where he's alive with everybody. Okay? Same thing with Abraham and whatever. Now, I have no knowledge of who's going to live or die. I just predicted that I thought it was Abraham because I felt that I don't want it to be Abraham, mind you.
No, me neither.
But I don't think that they're going to do the Glenn thing. You know, it could be the Daryl thing because that would have the biggest impact. And Chris, you thought it was Michonne, right?
I thought it was Michonne, but recently I've kind of been going back and forth with it. I think you're right. I think it may have been Abraham.
Yeah.
I do.
So you know, I really hope it's not Abraham, but it's probably Abraham. So, and Glenn, they could do something different with his death later on, maybe in a year, I guess, because they know fans are going to flip out all of a sudden if Glenn dies. So,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm thinking it's either Abraham or Michonne.
I think they're going to wait with Glenn. I don't think they want to deal with that. You know, and maybe Maggie's baby's going to live.
Could be.
You know, instead of dying, I guess, in the comic, right? So we'll have to wait and see. Again, unfortunately, before we get Walking Dead, we're going to get Fear the Walking Dead. which that's really bad. That's shoving that in our throat. Before, I mean, basically, we would have seen 15 episodes of Fear the Walking Dead before Walking Dead comes back. And I do like it better than I did, but that's no Walking Dead. That's for
yeah.
sure.
I still remember the season finale. It's like, okay.
And you know, it's funny. Everybody's focused on the first episode. We have no clue what the whole season's going to be, or the first half of season 7, and then the second half of season 7. I mean, obviously Negan's going to be around for like a couple of years, so that's going to be interesting. I just don't like it that, you know, they got to knock down Rick a peg or 2 or 5. I mean, I was kind of liking the flow where they were like unstoppable, you know. But then again, I didn't like it that they just started killing people without a reason, like they went, you know. I wasn't crazy about that at all. I wasn't liking that. So, what do you think, Chris?
I'm all for the way they did it. I think they set it up perfectly with it, where they seemed unstoppable, and then Negan shows up and he's like, "No, you're not." You know, I think that was perfect. I got to tell you though, who's ever going to cut this Walking Dead trailer together is going to have their work cut out for them, because they got to make sure they don't spill anything by accident.
Yeah, I would just, you know what I would do with Comic-Con and everything? I wouldn't even make a trailer. I would just do like a teaser, like them screaming or something.
Definitely. That's the
you know, I mean, you can't really, or you could show in the trailer different scenes with Negan talking, but not necessarily who he's talking to. Or you could show Glenn. You could well, probably the trailer's going to show Morgan and Carol, and Ezekiel and the tiger and whatever, and it's just going to show Negan. It's not going to really show Rick and everybody, I think, because he can't really. Right, Scott? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, definitely, because it would be giving too much away, and that's the one thing they want to keep on the very hushed is the fact that who Negan kills.
Right. I think they could get away with showing Nick. Nick? This isn't Fear the Walking Dead. I think they could get away with showing Rick and Carl.
Yeah,
I think they could get away with showing
those are the only 2 that are not done. So, or they could show different scenes with Rick interacting with Negan throughout the season.
I think they should do that more than anything, is show different scenes.
Yeah. All right, so we agree about that. That's October. Fear the Walking Dead comes back August. So that's it for the Walking Dead news. Let's just hope, too, this season they do some interesting stuff that just get you interested, because, I mean, we are going on the 7th year now. So, you know, this is the point in time where things could possibly get stale.
Yeah.
Everybody knows it. You know, everybody that has shows and it gets to the 7th year, it's like, you know, 7th year is usually when stuff ended with Star Trek Next Generation, and, you know, so, I mean, they ended it purposely for movies, but, you know, this is 7 years. So, I mean, even Game of Thrones is getting up there, too. They got to start doing stuff, too. I mean, this season was fantastic, but...
They got to start throwing little
so Walking Dead...
nicks here and there, otherwise people get tired of it. And
I don't think they should flood the market with Walking Dead. I think they flooded it enough, and now I think less is more, I think. So I think they need to... I mean, unfortunately, we're going to have another season of Fear the Walking Dead after this one, but, you know, let's just stop making spin-offs and mini-sodes that last like a year or 2. You know. All right, on that note, that's it for the Real Walking Cast. Hopefully we'll be back. You know, I haven't decided if I'm going to incorporate Fear into this in August. We'll see. But all right, guys, take care. Bye for now.